Ta-da!
The Naga came to Earth some 32,000 years ago. At this time, your species was at a different stage of development and in your evolution. Genes have been added since that time, and the species you are incarnated in now is different than the species of that time. Long ago, many humans were much more subservient that listened to their quote-unquote gods, with great respect and fear. Humans at that time had primarily colonized warmer regions of the planet near Egypt, Laos, Cambodia, parts of Brazil, Mexico, and Spain. These times were different as the planet was much more unstable. Its volcanoes erupted unaided by your ET friends who tempered the volcanoes with probes now. Electrostatic storms were also more prevalent as the Earth's geomagnetosphere was not balanced and was reaching a tipping point. Times were different then, but you survived as a race moving on to colonies on and off the planet. Yes, this was the time of the Egyptians, who had greatly developed technology at this time. They were heavily aided by many star races who had seeded both DNA and technology in the minds of men. As this race ascended, as time passed, some of your ancestors went to space in search for greener pastures, eventually ending up in Sirius B constellation. They had obvious help navigating with a race of ETs known as the Bashara. With their elongated skulls, you may find evidence of them in your museums, said to be the pharaohs of this time, but they more acted as advisors to the pharaohs, as they were not human. The humans that stayed had many dealings with inclement weather and troubling times due to unforeseen circumstances seen by the common people. The Earth was shifting at this time and was unstable. As the planet shifted, it caused massive damage to the human populace. Even some ETs were killed during this time due to uncalculable troubles. The Earth's gravity was unstable at this time, and the fields of geomagnetic poles were shifting. This caused a problem in some of the alien spacecraft, which relied on linking up with the planet's geomagnetic grid, causing them to smash into Earth. About 12% of the population survived, and some of these beings moved into catacombs of the inner Earth, where some of us dwell. These races are still present here on Earth and are thriving in very large colonies inside the planet. The planet is not solid rock as you may think. It is more of a honeycomb of caverns, deep below the surface where massive caverns exist. Many of these caverns host a large amount of races, both ancient human and non-human, all naturalized to this planet. Many of you have heard of stories such as in your Bible of beings coming from the earth and laying wrath upon the people. While these people had ancient technology that more modern humans did not have, and when they were threatened, they laid waste to the aggressors. Moving forward in time, about 16,000 years ago, another generation of human beings began to rise. These humans were better adapted to the climate and the fluctuations of the planet overall. This new race was genetically modified again by the Atunians, and therefore had increased intelligence, sensitive abilities, a longer lifespan, and were taller. This is your modern human for the most part, as only small changes have been made since this time by other races wishing to incorporate their DNA into your genome. You see, humans are a collective of sorts. They hold vast amounts of information in the DNA of their ancestors. You only need to look to find it. Your DNA is not just monkey DNA, it is much more than that. Many races have come together to create you, and you are something of a science experiment housing the DNA of over 21 different species. You are a last hope for some races in the universe to back-check their DNA in order to heal their genome. There were times When particular races came to Earth trying to manipulate you and your genetic stock to serve them, making you more susceptible to certain psionic intrusions and diseases. This time has now passed, and although there are many ETs on your planet at this time, they're here to serve a purpose of homeostasis for the planet for the most part. You see, you are a child of many races. You share their DNA, so therefore, you have many parents, so to speak. We watch you closely from afar and near, checking on you and your planet to make sure you do not destroy yourselves and contaminate your genome without fully understanding enough about genetics. You can cause great harm to future generations. We are here to simply guide you on your path as you ascend through the vibrations into light, to one day join us in ascension to help develop your other races and create your own seeded race one day. We wish you all the best of luck and guidance in your journey at this time. We must go, but we will return at a later time. Be kind to yourselves and to others. Share your light with everyone so you can help others. Share your light. Love and honor, strength and light. Naga.